the end of my 16th season, I feel like I know what works for me. So, as far as my body goes and stuff, I've been, my training's been very regimented and things have been going good. From a team aspect, it's been great. We've thought outside the box a lot, from our suspension components and from our training and, the things that Mike's challenged me with, because while 16 seasons can be a lot of experience and that can play out really good for an athlete or a rider, I think with the evolving of a sport, you have to be challenged to think outside the box a little bit, and Mike's done that with me, Rick's done it with our setup, and so far it seems to be working.
For Kevin, in his particular case, it's funny for us because we used to race each other. But
yeah, Mike and I are we're having a good time with it. It's funny to to have him as a manager and to respect him in that position and respect all that he's done in his career. But like just a few short years ago, we were battling each other on the track. So it's unique and it's cool. And coming into the season, he's definitely challenged me to do some things a little bit different, and it's worked out. So I respect him, and we butt heads a little bit. But at the end of the day, he's been beneficial to me already. I hope for more of the same.
He struggled with some issues last year, and I think me and Ziggy and I did the same thing. I took his bike out and would ride it, and the first impression of his bike was bad. I didn't even like riding it. So I kind of re-geared it to where I thought it would be, in the motor department. We monkeyed around with it, and then Ziggy and I worked a day or two on the suspension, and same scenario. We got him and all of our lights guys on the same components, virtually the same settings, and they all love it. So that was, I think, that was a big deal for Kevin. I think we getting him comfortable, considering he had a tough year prior.
There's a pretty big misconception out there that I need that factory bike or I need that suspension to get this result, and it's not true. It still boils down to the guy that's twisting the throttle, and that guy needs to be comfortable. We've really tried to work hard to make the riders comfortable, but also prove what works and doesn't work, and bigger is not always better. Glitter, it's nice to look at, but it doesn't mean performance is better. We started comparing production versus a kit, and we found that Flex, the smaller tubes, was actually offering some benefit in some areas, and we started chasing that direction, and we did compare back to back, and our riders have the opportunity to pick and choose what they want. But our riders, the last two series, 09 Outdoor Series and now the 2010 Supercross Series, have chosen production-based components, and Factory Connection does work very hard on making sure that the performance is where it needs to be, reliability is where it needs to be, but they are components that you and I get when we buy a CRF 250, and they're even being utilized on Kevin Windham's 450 right now. So,
I think that working with Factory Connection, and specifically Rick, I think that he's enough of a rider to be able to hear and understand what I'm saying, and to know, what I'm feeling, and to take my comments and move them to the right direction, to a positive, input and a component or a shim or whatever to allow me to ride, and to hear what I'm saying and to put it into a setting is unique, and I think he's really good at that. The suspension is awesome. I hear people talk about it on the amateur level, and on our level, I feel like I had the best bike out there today. I felt like I was strongest in the whoops, and I wasn't good enough to win, but I think that my machine was.